what are some blood test markers that one should look at to know whether overall everything that we are doing is helping move us in the right direction, or is it not helping, or is it actually making things worse? So I'll give one example just to start it off. One thing that I don't think too many people told me about, and I had to figure this out on my own, was people kept saying, look at your HbA1c, look at your fasting glucose. Almost nobody told me, look at your fasting insulin, right? And that seems to be a very critical thing. Uh, is that a good marker? And what other such markers should people look at to know their state of health?
I think that fasting insulin is a really good marker. The other really good marker is your ratio of HDL and triglycerides, HDL to triglycerides. We think about total HDL, we think about total triglycerides. So I think that ratio is really critical. The second thing that I think is really critical is your triglyceride levels itself. Fasting triglycerides under 100 shows a superior metabolism as opposed to the reference range, which is under 150. So those are two things in addition to fasting insulin. Inflammation is very tricky to measure, right? For example, C-reactive protein is something that is often measured, but it's not a good indicator, as you know, right? If you are, in the middle of a migraine going for your blood work, your C-reactive protein is going to be, really high. The general reference range that we look at when we look at C-reactive protein is between 2 and 4. The accepted number is less than 1. So if there is an indication, for example, obesity is another thing that really drives C-reactive protein. So if you are obese and if you find that your C-reactive protein is in double digits, it's probably because of the obesity, and it will come down if you lose weight. So I usually look at a C-reactive protein range between 2 and 4, but in conjunction with several other markers, right? So the fasting insulin, HDL triglyceride ratio, APOP, APOA1, many other things. Hemoglobin A1C, I'm frustrated with that number for those who are in the bucket of pre-diabetes, because time and again we see I see in my clinic is that it is not a good indicator. Also of insulin resistance, it is notoriously misleading. There are many of my patients who are insulin resistant who have normal A1C, and there are many who have elevated A1C who are insulin sensitive. So that we know, I think within our clinic, we've established that we rarely look at hemoglobin A1C, and we do the oral glucose tolerance test and oral insulin tolerance as well.